So I have the Chargers going 7-9. Obviously it kind of hinges on that offense because their defense is very much elite. But with Justin Herbert at the helm, I don't know what to think, to be quite honest with you. So I had them being kind of that like middle of the road team. Unfortunately, Chargers fans, you are in the cellar of the AFC West, but that's nothing to be ashamed of because this division has competitors. We just said. So I mean, I don't think they're ready to, obviously they're not ready to challenge Kansas City or contend in the playoffs in the AFC, but they're not one of the worst teams in football. I feel like people underestimate the Chargers a bit too much, and we have an episode on it where you can go check it out on our page. But I mean, you start out with Tyrod Taylor, and I'm assuming Justin Herbert's going to come in at some point. So it's just the offense the offense has so many question marks, but that defense is elite. And when healthy, that defense will challenge even the very best offenses on its schedule. I have them splitting with the Chiefs, and I have them winning in week 17, but I mean, assuming they're resting starters, but still, I mean, I think they got a lot of playmakers on that defense. You draft Kenneth Murray now. I think they're going to keep the Chargers in a lot of games that not many people really expect them to be. But yeah, just kind of overall 7-9. And the difference between a good season and a bad season for LA just hinges on that offense to take advantage of the opportunities gifted to them by the defense. So that's my take on the Chargers.
Yeah, I'll go second on this one if you want to finish it off in each. I think that I hate to talk about it. I did have the Chargers in the Super Bowl last year after they trust me.
Falcons Chargers, was that what it was?
Falcons Chargers.
I made up for it with the Chiefs prediction before the playoffs. I'll even it out there. But the Chargers 2 years ago, they were really good, and they competed when they had good Phillip Rivers. They competed with the Chiefs, and obviously last year Phillip Rivers kind of fell off, and we've seen what this team is without a good quarterback. If Justin Herbert can be that good quarterback, I think this team will be great again. I think that their defense is I think it's a top 5 unit, but could push to be a top 3 unit.
On paper.
On paper, that's true.
Yep.
But we've seen them play well too. And so I think it all hinges on, can Austin Eckler run the ball between the tackles consistently for the whole year as a number 1 back? And can Justin Herbert turn out to be the franchise quarterback for this team? And I think that he needs to be more than just an average quarterback. I think Phillip Rivers' year last year was average, if maybe just a little bit below average.
Yeah, a little bit below.
If he could be a fringe Pro Bowl quarterback, I think this team is destined for playoff success within the coming years. This year, however, I don't think they get there. I don't think he starts until maybe 5-6 weeks of the season, if at all. I think that if Tyrod Taylor plays well and Justin Herbert they don't think is ready, which there's a very big possibility he does not play a single game this year. Mm-hmm. I think that this Chargers team, I think they won't be as bad as the Raiders, but I don't think that they'll be as good as the Broncos. I've got them going 6-10, but this is a really hard team to predict because we really just don't know what to expect. Because there's changes at quarterback and running back, full changes in the running back room, and the defense on paper looks good, but who knows? It could fall apart. And so I think that there are some hard teams to predict. I think that the Bears are a really hard team to predict. The Patriots are a really hard team to predict. I think the Chargers are right there in the realm of hard teams to predict. And so I've got them going 6-10, but I mean, they could be worse. They could be better. It's really tough.
I'd say the Chiefs are a hard team to predict too.
Stop the cap. But all right, I'll round it out with the Chargers. I think they're the definition of an 8-8 team. I've been saying this for a while now. Because here's the thing, their roster is really good. I mean, we talked about it. I mean, Derwin James, their secondary, Derwin James, Desmond King, Casey Hayward, Chris Harris. I mean, come on. And I think Nasir Adderley can make some plays too. It's just, again, how do they finish games? How do they close them out? Because I've seen Casey Hayward give up a pass interference call where it was like, what are you doing? Why did that happen? And it's like, Anthony Lynn, can you be a better coach? I think Phillip Rivers did have a pretty mediocre year last year. And I think while you say fringe Pro Bowl year, I think that's a little unclear from Justin Herbert. I don't know what I would expect.
No, I'm talking for the future.
Yeah. So I think Tyrod Taylor they should redshirt him for the first year. If I'm them, I think they should redshirt him. I think Tyrod is a solid starter. Again, career winning record. I mean, it's been a while since he's played. I think 2018 was the last time he started a game. But again, with the career winning record, he's got a good game for football. Sorry, what was that, Shrikar?
And then Baker took over week 3. That's the last action we saw.
Yes, I remember that. But I think so. Meaning an 8-8 team, I think they're going to win the games that they should win. They're going to lose the games that they're supposed to lose. I think the only ones potentially, again, I think they beat the Chiefs week 17 because they rest their starters. And I actually think the Jaguars beat them coming off a bye. But so that's
I hate the Jaguars.
Pretty ironic. I mean, I think the Jags win a couple games, so I think that's one of them. But again, win the games that they should, lose the games that they should. I think that's literally the definition with the Chargers here. Like, I got them beating the Panthers at home, but I also got them losing to the Bucs on the road, right? Losing to the Saints on the road, beating the Jets at home. There are just some games where they're favored, some games that they won't beat. I think that's them. I mean, just an 8-8 team with a good roster. Again, I think they're, like you said, Jack, I think quarterback development is their key. And I think they'll get that eventually. But as of right now, if their roster can stay intact over the course of the year, I think they have some aging veterans, though, that they need to address. Like a Bulaga would be a potential guy because I think they got him for 3 years. But I think that's perfect for a guy like him. But again, 8-8 for this team. I think that finishes third in my AFC West rankings. I think it's similar to you three, right? Or except Shrikar has them last.
7-9 is fourth. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, Shrikar got this division pretty loaded. I think Jack and I kind of got a little bit of gaps between each team. I'm sorry?
A little more down to earth and kind of
a little bit more gapped out between each team. I think Chiefs clear distinction, Broncos a little bit more clear. Same with the Chargers and the Raiders. But to kind of wrap this episode up, obviously you can check our AFC West rankings throughout the episode. You can check our NFC West rankings that we previously did. And we'll be posting more episodes. Obviously, we all have school, so trying to get as much content out there as possible. But we're going to get more playoff predictions coming your way. And be sure to use the website, playoffpredictors.com. That's where we did it. And please help us get to our 200 subscriber goal by the end of the month. I'd really appreciate that. And I'm sure Jack and Shrikar would too. Be sure to check out all our socials down below in the links. Obviously, our Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Love you guys.
See ya.